I'm feeling convicted even reading this story right now. As parents, we all want to protect our kids, but could too much protection be holding them back? Today, we're talking about the powerful link between independence and mental health. Research shows when children are given age-appropriate freedom, they develop stronger self-esteem, better coping skills, and they're actually less anxious in the long run. That's what we want, isn't it? But when parents hover too much, often with the best intentions, can really have the opposite effect. So joining us now is pediatric psychiatrist at Rady Children's, Dr. Willow Jenkins. Doctor, thanks so much for joining us.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Okay, I'm trying not to inject too much of my personal experience. I'm really going to learn here. This is so good. Explain to people and to me why independence matters for kids' mental health.
Yes. Well, when we give kids the opportunity to be independent, they gain so much confidence. They believe in themselves. They have self-efficacy, and there's a lot of mental health benefits, as you mentioned. They're less anxious because they don't have that fear of failure. They're okay to do hard things, and if it works out, sometimes fantastic, and if it doesn't, that's okay too.
And if we're always stepping in, that gives them that fear of failure feeling?
Yeah, well, when you always step in, you're telling them, I don't trust you. And then what they internalize is, I don't trust myself. And so then they have that fear of failure. And the one that people don't always realize is then they become very dependent on you as a parent. So they don't feel like they can do things without your support. And we see this a lot getting into adolescence, where we're having a lot of teens that are struggling to separate from their parents, to do things on their own, failure to launch, struggling in their first years of college because they had too much help and support from their parents. So it's really, really important to find that balance.
And it's very hard to strike that balance when they're little. You know, they're just 4, they're just 5, they're just 6, and all of a sudden they're just 12. So let's talk about what healthy independence looks like at different ages.
Yeah. So for like a preschooler, you want them to be picking out their own clothes. Let them pour the cereal, get it everywhere. Feed the dog, get it everywhere. That's okay. But they're going to feel so good about the fact they can do that. Elementary school, you want them to start doing some chores. They can do laundry. They could pack their lunch. They can, in older elementary, start walking to school on their own if that's close for you, that type of thing. Going into adolescence, you want them really to start to be able to do things independently. Figure out how to use public transport, take a bus, plan an activity with a friend all the way through without you interfering. This is the type of things that I'm talking about, which can be done incredibly safely, and they get such confidence from being able to do this.
So you're talking more about like just their everyday life, their activities, what they're doing, not so much, or maybe you are. I mean, when you're stepping into social situations that they have, is that too much, that too hovering?
Well, I think it's a balance, because I always think as a parent, you want to be a guide and be a mentor and be there if they need you. One of my favorite analogies is thinking of yourself as a parent as a dock and your children as little boats. And when they're little toddlers, babies, they're connected right to the dock. And as they get older, you let the rope go and they drift off, and maybe they start steering themselves. But they can always come back to you. So always being a stable presence that's there, but you don't need to interject into everything.
What are some ways we can encourage this independence right now during the summer?
Well, summer's a perfect time because we have less scheduling. There's so many fun activities you can do. Send your child to go drop the mail off at the mailbox. Have them go walk the dog. Go to the corner store and buy a popsicle or a sweet treat. I mean, that's going to be motivating for a lot of kids. And you can do it in a very safe way. Where I live, we have an amazing mom and pop donut shop. And I stand outside. My kids go in with cash. They get to practice. They meet the people, order their donuts. It's all safe, all very controlled, and they feel so good that they've done it. So just start small. Pick just one little thing a week.
And it can go a long way.
So far.
Okay, these are great ideas, great tips. Thank you so much, Doctor. We'll try to implement those, and when I say we, I'll say me.